back to Kerbal Space Program. We are reaching for the stars, and I'm your host, Christopher Tarantola. Today we are gonna build a moon lander, and we're gonna land on the moon. I've spent all that science that we got from Moho, and it was a ton of it. We've got quite a bit more that we have at our disposal now. So I think we're gonna go to the moon. I've gone to the moon before, but of course, that was with Jebediah in one of the lost episodes. I lost that episode due to corruption of a file, and so was never able to load that onto YouTube. Besides that, going to the moon, I think, will give us a lot of good science and allow us to get a bunch of biomes. So for that reason, and I'm gonna build I want to build a lander that will actually give us a lot of delta V so that we can really hop around and do a lot of things on the moon and not just one thing. So uh, here we go. I'm going to fast forward through the build process and the launch into orbit and even the transfer from orbit over to the moon because y'all have seen that so many times. Y'all should know how to do that part. And so we'll catch back up when we are going to go suborbital to land onto the moon. All right, Kerbal Knots. So we are in orbit of the moon, and so now we need to pick our landing site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my satellite map here, and I'm going to go to overlay control, and I'm going to go to biomap, and I'm going to use my biomap to choose where to land. Now I probably want to land where there's a couple different biomes to exploit. Um, I have I've already landed in these biomes here. So I've done some hopping there. At one point, I've also did these, and so that was off camera. And again, we just we have lost those, but we do have the East Far Side Crater, canyons there. Let's see, the Southwest Crater. I think we're gonna go for the Southwest Crater over here, right? So let's put this back on and take the biomap off. The Southwest Crater is currently on the dark side, so we want to go around until um, I don't want to land on the dark side of the moon. I want to land when it's facing the sun, for ease of seeing it, as well as the fact that I don't want to lose power, solar power, and start having to run on batteries the whole time. That would sometimes be detrimental. I could even completely lose control of the craft. So I'm just gonna fast forward here until this gets onto the light side of the moon. Alrighty, so I believe we are far enough into the sun that we can go ahead and begin our ascent. I can't see my mission clock because of my recorder here, but let's just say we've been in orbit for a while now, and let us see here. I want to create a maneuver, and probably somewhere back here, and I'm gonna drastically change my inclination. I have tons and tons and tons of delta V, way more than I need. I kind of did that on purpose in the sense that I wanted to be able to hop around different places if I wanted to go to multiple different landing spots. So I'm going to bring it down. I want to come down inside this crater, but I'm going to go over it so that when I'm about right here, I can affect my descent where I want to. Now, I probably want to bring it up a little bit and probably out a little bit so that I'll be going into the rotation of it as it takes time for me to get down. I'm going to go ahead and correct my attitude over here. And 325, 337. So I'm probably going to go ahead and be done with this second stage. I'm still on basically the primary ascent stage. Um, it's been able to take me all the way to my suborbital and suborbital flight, I guess you would call it, above the moon, which is kind of crazy. As you can see, I still have like 7,000 delta V. So we should be not get stranded. We should be able to really do some good exploring here on the moon. And I do believe I will be able to get every biome with the basic science instruments after this one on the moon. Now, this is actually my third time to the moon, although it's the first on camera. It's kind of strange. Usually, it's the first thing that you would do, or the second thing that we do after Minimus. And for some reason, I just had such a hard time getting it on camera. So at least it worked this time, right, guys? All right, so got a minute left before my burn. I'm going to stay here on the map view for this burn so that I can see, make sure that my trajectory is where I want it to be. All right, and so we're going to get ready to burn 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, burn. Well, not quite where we wanted it, but that's okay. That will work. I'll just hit retrograde at this point, and I'll finish up this. Did it finish? It did, okay. Go ahead and just stage that. I don't have to deal with it anymore. Get rid of basically more than half the mass of my rocket at that point. And that'd be good, because that'll crash into the moon, and so we're not leaving any space debris. Alright, so I'm just going to slowly burn retrograde here to bring down my trajectory a little bit. Okay, so I think we're going to just warp to here and see how things look. There's our crater. We still got tons of delta V left. But I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and do my burn. Basically, I'm going to actually go to stability assist because I want to kill my horizontal velocity, more or less. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that point. We go back to retrograde here. I'm go ahead and put my gear down. Even though I'm technically on another stage, I'm not even going to be able to use this stage. Fully, that is. I'm going to have to ditch it before I land, unless I try and land on it, which I guess I could, but I don't think I need to. So my suicide burn here, showing. Go ahead and hit this, because I'd hate to go past. So I'm going to go F5 as well. Hopefully I didn't seal my death because I was already past the point of no return, but I think I should be okay. Just F5 because I litho braked a little bit. Not because I did anything in particular wrong, except I underestimated the weakness of the engine of the next stage. So right about now, I'm going to hit this one let it kill my velocity basically to 0. I will then release it. It will hit the ground and explode, and then we'll bring this thing down nice and slow. I'm just going to maintain a nice slow velocity until this runs out of fuel, essentially. Might as well. It's increasing a little bit. I don't mind that. Just barely below 1 thrust to weight ratio, which is why that's increasing. As I use more fuel, the thrust to weight ratio will go up because I got the same amount of thrust but less weight to push. And I think it'll eventually get to 1. And so we'll start to just hover, and then at some point, once it goes above 1, we'll start to slow down. Let's see what we got with these experiments here. Sound experiment. No longer able to track anything on the new particle. We have this new liquid time experiment. We're approaching the maximum amount of time is beginning to dilate again. Suppose I should have taken some readings before we got to here, but we can do that with other craft at another time. Right, so now I'm at a 1 thrust to weight ratio. This is going to start to slow down now instead of speed up. So just slowly descend, nice and patiently. Not the efficient way to do this, by the way, guys. But I got so much delta V that I can afford it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and release this, and X, release, and then Z. And so I don't have too much further to go before I have to hit it again anyway, but I will get closer. I'll go ahead and F5. It's about to hit. There it hits. Something of it did survive. So I'm going to move over just a bit. Just enough so that I'm not landing right on top of whatever that is left. So I'm just keeping her steady on retrograde. When we get close, though, I will. Since we have almost no horizontal velocity here, I'm going to go ahead and hit it to stability assist. And the reason I'm going to do that is I don't want, if I bounce a little bit, my retrograde will all of a sudden switch from going straight up to straight down. And that will make my ship want to flip, and that can lead to problems. So keeping it on stability assist at this point since it's nice and steady, and I'm still running basically retrograde. Is going to be a better way to go. Coming in nice and slow. I want to get this to be under probably 5 for sure. Perhaps under 3 if I can swing it, which I think I can. I have enough fine control with this motor, this setup, that I can do that. Coming on a nice, easy slope of 3.5 degrees. Nothing to worry about there. I am going to correct my rotation, my roll, to be with the cardinal direction, so that'll make taking off easier. And I'm just coming in. I'm going to slow it down just a bit because I don't want to go. I want to be below 3, but not much below 3. So now I just want to maintain. I want to keep this at 1 thrust ratio of 1, essentially, if I can. And then X, bouncing a little bit. I am pushing the S key to keep it from rolling over. And we have a landing. I'm going to turn my SAS off. And bingo, we have landed on the moon. Here we go. So that's a beautiful shot, isn't it? Oh, with Kerbal there to boot. That's a really beautiful shot. So yeah, we'll take some pictures at some point. But first we need to do some science, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and do the sound experiment again. And nothing happens, of course, but we do get some science for it all the same. Let's log the temperature. And that's good. Let's, in there. Oh, I put it over here. Log seismic activity. Sensor picks up distant impacts on the surface reflecting along the interior of the moon. Interesting. 43 or 47 science for that. Let's see what this time experiment does. The time dilation definitely correlates with the gravitational pull and velocity. So we are proving that Einstein knew what he was talking about. Albert Einstein. Would that be the person? I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me. But in any case,
I've added these to your shopping list.
That was my Amazon Alexa stop app. I have a little thing in there. I don't know, something I said must have made her think that I was calling her name. Interesting. So transmit 31.5 science for the atmospheric pressure, which there is none. You can also do a crew report here and get some science for that. All right, well, EVA here and Valentina. We'll go ahead and we'll drop her down and bam. And add a picture. Doing her little moon walk there. Plant a flag. Beautiful looking flag, if I do say so myself. We'll call this Einstein's crater. In honor of the greatest mind of last year. All right, we'll take a surface sample and an EVA report. We'll go ahead and send the EVA report, but we'll keep the surface sample and bring that back with us. And then I think it's pitcher time, don't you guys? All right, pitcher time. That's a good pitcher right there. I do say so myself. Bam. Okay. So pitcher's taken. Correct our camera. And get back in the ship. Hmm. It didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. Ragdolled. Come on, girl. Get in there. There you go. There we go. Okay, so we've landed on the moon for a third time in a new biome. Let's see, where else do we want to go? We have a little bit less than 5,000 Delta V. Let's take a look at our biome map. So there's Highland craters. I got stuff for that. Midland craters. I got stuff for that. Midlands. I got that. Highlands. I got that. Poles. So there's really nothing here. I could go up to this northwest crater, but of course I've been there before. I've been at the east crater. I'm not sure if I've been to these twin craters. I think I'm going to shoot for that. So that is going to be, if I basically go due east, that's going to, I think, get me more or less where I want to go. I can play it by ear, but we go ahead and F5 this. I'm going to stay in the map view. I'm going to turn my SAS back on. And east is going to be towards the 90, so that way. And I'm just going to burn in that direction once I get up to above. There we go. Just burn in this direction. I keep my prograde above the horizon for sure. See yas. Yeah, this thing doesn't have enough power for how heavy this thing is. Alright, so at one point I'm going to have to coast a little bit here so I can get rid of the stage without it running back into me. That's one of the detriments to having a stage be on top of your craft. And so I'm trying to get to these here, and I think I'm going just the right direction to do that, so it's just kind of convenient. Almost out of fuel on this stage here. Perfect. See you later. And with that, I think we're going to cut this episode here. We will do the second hop and make our way back to Kerbin in the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.